Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check, mic check, 1, 2. Alright. Hit the lights. Hit them, yeah. There we go, yep. Camera rolling. It has been a hot minute. 8 months to be exact. I know. What the heck, dude? You finally get some subscribers on this godforsaken channel and then you abandon us? It doesn't add up. I agree, it doesn't. I have a list of things I want to talk about today. And I think we've all been through it. I feel like everyone's kind of been through the ringer a few times in 2020/2021. And you know what? I think we just need to take about 20 minutes to sit down and just talk, okay? Because I'm so tired, and I'm sure you are too. So, I tried filming this once and I realized I had no personality while filming and I forgot how to talk in front of a camera, but I feel warmed up now. So, honestly, I was not going to make a YouTube video tonight, but I got this comment on my Myers-Briggs personality test video from the non-binary duck, and they left the nicest comment, and I felt so bad. I was like, here this person is watching my content, and there is nothing new for them to watch. And to that, I'm sorry. And this is for you. Anyways, so I have some good news to share, have some bad news to share, and some neutral news to share. But I kind of want this video to be like we're just sitting, chatting with a friend. Let's start with the good news, right? Who doesn't like to start with good news? If y'all did not know, I am a indie singer-songwriter. I don't know why I did this. I am an independent singer-songwriter. Sometimes I feel very pretentious saying that, but it is literally a fact, so I need to be more comfortable with myself. And I work my booty off. Okay. I put my heart and my soul into my music. If you've never heard it, here is the Spotify thing. You can listen other places, but Spotify is my favorite platform personally. Apple Music's chill too. It sounds so crazy to say because I don't even believe it. Cause you know, like, I manifested this in my little manifestation journal, but you know, in the back of your head, you're like, really, bitch? You think you can do it? You think you can do it? Sometimes I feel like other people believe in me more than I do. Usually it's the opposite. I feel like people believe in themselves more than other people do. I was like, wait, everyone actually expects me to do this music thing and succeed. I have to now do it and succeed. So I uploaded Chai Tea 2 years ago, and it now has over 1 million streams. And that's so crazy to say. It's insane. Thank you to literally anyone who has listened once or twice or 100 times. It means the absolute world to me. And I promise new music is coming soon. Let's go on to our next life event. We talked about Chai Tea and 1 million. Alright. I'm pretty sure we're all in the same boat when it comes to COVID. It threw our lives for a loop, okay? We did not see this coming. Nobody saw this coming. And to anyone who's been affected really terribly in any way by all of this, my sympathy goes out to you. It has been rough for everybody, and it's so heartbreaking, honestly. I feel like we all kind of lost a year of our lives to this, you know? And some people lost their lives. But yeah, I do feel like life just became really weird for everybody, and everyone has their own way of adjusting to that. And I feel like there's a lot of people who become workaholics in a time of crisis because they like to feel in control. So when quarantine happened, I was like, okay, this is the perfect opportunity to do creative things. This is the perfect opportunity to record music, write new songs, write in general, write a book, like do something with your mind and your brain, because you have the opportunity to literally stay home and do nothing for 2 months. Do something, you know? I think a lot of creative people like me, half of us thrived and did so many things. Taylor Swift made a whole album, and then there was me, and I just couldn't seem to do anything. I did release 2 a.m. during quarantine, but I had already kind of been finishing that up. So I didn't really start much, and I just became so down. And I thought that me being an introvert, I would really enjoy the time alone, but it ended up being pretty rough. And I think a lot of introverts felt that way too. We didn't realize how much we do rely on social interaction and do love to be around the people that we love, of course. But yeah, I did try to stay positive throughout all of that, but there were just some days that were hard. And, you know, this is not a unique experience. We were all going through that. Anyways, so that was that. So once that had all happened and life was kind of going back to normal and I was back at work and stuff, then Texas, where I live, decided to literally have a snowstorm. A snowstorm in Texas, a huge winter storm, which we referred to as Snowvid, because now we were trapped in our houses for different reasons, and it was hell. Oh my gosh, the power in my apartment was, first it was rotating, it was like on and off every 10 minutes, then it was just off for 3 days. My apartment got so freezing we couldn't stay here anymore. It was awful. I remember being wrapped in so many blankets and it did not matter. I could barely sleep. I couldn't be on my phone because you couldn't charge it. So every once in a while my dad and I would go into our cars just to get warm and like charge our phones. But it was awful. I will insert some clips from that whole experience and I will upload like a mini YouTube video on like all of those clips together because I do think it's interesting. Oh no. So here's my balcony door. We've put a blanket. I can literally feel the wind right now. Look. See that crack? That is outside. The wind is like bursting in here. It's freezing. If you try to go get gas, there's a line. Some gas stations are out of gas. If you try to go to any food place or grocery store, the line's outside the place. Like it's a complete disaster. And it feels like COVID all over again.
But it's turned into something very, very different.
Luckily, my grandma's house never lost power or water, so I went over there for most of the time. That was rough, and literally some people lost their lives for literally no reason, just because the power grid was all messed up or something. Oof, I bet there's still like legal things going on about that because what the hell? How could Texas let that happen? Apparently our power source wasn't built for winter. I'm sorry, what? So on the upside, I got to see snow for the first time, like actual snow. So that was fun while it lasted until the power went out. Then it wasn't fun and games anymore. It wasn't like, oh, snow day. Next. So we went through Snowvid, we went through COVID, but Chaiti hit 1 million a few months ago, so that's fun. Another event. In November, I turned 21. I turned 21. It was so much fun. In the sun. We're wrapping now. Okay. Honestly, I love being 21. I knew that becoming of age was going to be fun, but I didn't know it would be this much fun, okay? I am a Sagittarius. And I always saw myself as this very like timid person who doesn't like to party, and I'd rather stay in and read a book, you know? But once I've had a couple drinks, what are we doing next? When are we dancing? When are we singing? When's karaoke? Can we go get Whataburger after this? I was having so much fun. I wasn't getting messy drunk. I have never blacked out or anything like that. I went to a drag brunch for the first time. That was so much fun. Literally just like the most carefree space in the world. So I want this video to be like us just catching up and like we're friends, because I want to have that connection with my subscribers, because I love YouTubers that like talk to me like I'm their friend. You know what I mean? Because that's the real stuff. That's the stuff I want to hear about. Sometimes that's more entertaining to me than a TV show. Like I just want to hear about someone's life and how they're doing, you know? So I've taken a couple of gap years because honestly, After high school, plans are so stressful. Deciding what to do with your life is so stressful. I'm sure all of you can relate. I feel like there's rarely that kind of person that just knows exactly what they want to do and how to get there. So for the rest of us, we're just like left to fend for ourselves and figure it out as we go along. And I really do feel for like y'all out there that just don't know what you want to do yet. That stresses me out. Like, at least I kind of know I know I want to do singing, and I know I want to be a songwriter, and I know I want to release more music. But if that doesn't work out, like, I don't know. I don't see myself doing an office job. I don't see myself, I mean, I guess I just have to do something that makes money at that point. But again, like, I don't want to be miserable though. I guess I'd be okay being content. I don't want to think about that right now. But I realized that I was not getting better at producing. I was getting a little better, but I wanted to start knowing the ins and outs. And there's only so many YouTube videos you can watch. And when it comes to YouTube videos, it can be a great resource to learn things. But it would be to the point where if I was looking up how to EQ vocals, I would watch 5 videos and they were all saying completely different things. And I just really wanted the structure of college and the structure of an actual class and learning from professionals, you know what I mean? Like, people who know what they're talking about. So after being very frustrated and not being very consistent, even with like watching YouTube videos on how to produce and stuff, I decided I really needed that structure. And I have always wanted to go to Berkeley, the one in Boston, not the one in California. But the Berklee College of Music in Boston, I've always wanted to go there. But I had no desire to physically go to Boston. And also I couldn't afford it even if I wanted to. So that was a downside. And I was thinking about, okay, well, where could I go in Texas or in my town? And again, I didn't want to move. And with COVID and everything, half of the schools were online at the time anyways. So I decided to take some courses through Berklee Online because they have like a whole online program. Not sponsored, by the way. Imagine if I was like sponsored by a college. Also, it is like an ongoing joke between Berklee students that like nobody really graduates. Like, most people just kind of take what they need from the school and then bounce. Like literally John Mayer only went for like a semester or something like that. I know St. Vincent, I think she graduated. No, I don't think she did actually. I think she quit after 3 years. But I thought, okay, I kind of want to just take a few producing classes, see how I like it, take what I need to learn, and then just keep creating and see what happens. So I've been taking 3 classes and it is hard. Producing is so hard, but I'm keeping up, I'm doing good, and I'm learning so much, which is where I'm getting to like why I haven't released music, is because I'm learning so much. It keeps delaying the process because I'm like, oh, I need to go back and do that to this song, or I need to go back and do that to all these songs. And then meanwhile, I'm still creating new music and I'm like ditching the older ones that I thought were really good and they're like not. That's why it's literally just, I'm like growing week by week when it comes to music. And so it's just, I have to eventually come to a place where it's like, okay, you can stop here and just finish these and put them out. But I am happy to announce that there will be an EP, at least 5 to 7 songs, and I will release a single to like kind of hype it up so you'll know when it's coming, and then I'll have like an actual date. So either way, a song is coming soon. It's a little stressful. Again, my marketing team is me, my manager is me, and so I have to make all the decisions. I think TikTok will be a big help because TikTok is just such a great place for marketing and like trying to put yourself out there. I feel like it is easier to get seen than on YouTube. But I really just do love the format of YouTube, and I love like long content. Whereas TikTok is just like boom, 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 kind of like Vine was. So we got college out of the way. So, about, I don't know how many months, but a few months ago, I went through a breakup, and I wish I could lie to you and say it was super like smooth sailing and easy to go through that. It's not. It never is. And it's just been like a weird adjusting time for me. But I am really, really happy. I'm happy to be single and focus on myself for once, like truly focus on myself and you know, grow on my own, not grow with someone by my side. And that's always been really hard for me. I don't like being alone like that, which is like really hard to admit. I like having a companion. I think it's like one of the most human things in the world to just want someone with you all the time. And even friends, you know, like I want my friends in contact with me a lot, even if I'm feeling like kind of introverty and not wanting to go out. Like I still want to text them and talk to them and call them. So the breakup was hard. It was mutual. There's no drama. But it's just, it sucks. It sucks. And it's never an easy thing to go through. And so that kind of made me sad. Obviously, it made me kind of sad for a while. But I am healing. I'm happy. I'm feeling so much freedom. And just like, I'm just excited for the future. But the loneliness can be like overwhelming sometimes, because I'm just, you know, when you're so used to having someone for so long and then all of a sudden it's just like nothing. It's weird. But I'll be okay. Also, I've just been working so much, and I'm sure all of you have a job that, I hope many of you have jobs you actually enjoy. That is amazing. That's everything, right? To enjoy what you're doing. Go home and you're happy that you're home, but you're okay with your job and you're happy that you had a successful, productive day. I work in the restaurant industry, and I really respect people who work in the restaurant industry, but I'm so tired of it. If it weren't for my coworkers, like, I would not be there. But it's good money, and I can't think of anything else to do right now that's like as flexible. You know, it is what it is. It lets me do my music. It's just been a lot. Like, when you're not doing something that makes you happy, it takes a lot out of you, just like mentally and emotionally and physically. And so sometimes I have to remind myself that I'm there to make money, because I get so caught up in my head, like, I could be making music right now, like, this is wasting my time, because then I get too tired when I get home to make music or whatever. If anything, it builds character. I think so many people, specifically rich people, or people who have rich parents, or just people who are really privileged, who don't have to work to do what they want, you know, kids who are in college and their parents are paying for it, or just people who don't have to work and they can really focus on what they want to do. I think those of us who don't have that privilege and we do have to work to pay our car payment or pay our rent or, you know, pay for food every day, there is just this like humbling, and it builds character, and you learn how to be independent, and I think it is a good thing. There's just like this drive to be like, oh, I want to quit that day job. Like, I want to succeed in what I really want to do. And so I try to remind myself that this is all just temporary, and it's a part of your story. I think going through a breakup and COVID and snowvid and all that stuff, everything just seems way darker than it is. You know, it's your 20s. It's just life. It's a wild ride. I'm also just becoming more self-aware of my flaws, and it's weird. I definitely want to get a therapist, because I think there used to be this huge stigma around a therapist, like, oh, you must be crazy if you see a therapist. You must have depression. You must have anxiety. You must have something wrong with you if you have to see a therapist. But I think I know it's becoming more and more normalized to want to get help. Even if you're, you know, a fairly stable, functioning person, like, everyone has their shit, you know? Like, everyone has stuff they're going through and stuff that, you know, they need to get off their chest or talk about, or problems and ways to cope and get through those problems. I think everyone could use a therapist. Everyone. Your mom, your dad, your sister, your your dog. So I've been looking into it. It is expensive. That sucks. But I figure if I could give something else up and just replace it with therapy, like, do you really need to get Starbucks 3 times a week? Absolutely not. Do therapy instead. And it'll be the same amount of money. Yeah, I've just become more self-aware. It's really weird. I guess that's like what becoming an adult is. It's brutal out here. Da-na-na-na-na. I'm just gonna start saying like embarrassing stuff that's true. I feel like what's ever going on in here usually reflects out here. And I have not been able to keep my room clean. Like, no matter what. I will try to clean it and I lose the motivation. I'm too tired. Because, you know, after I work a double, I would rather lay in bed and watch YouTube videos for 3 hours than clean my room for 3 hours. So I'll tidy up like one part of my desk and then the rest of my room is just like filthy. I have a whole pile of clothes that need to be washed, a whole pile of clothes that are clean but aren't put up. And I think my problem is I don't have a dresser, so I'm getting a dresser soon so I can actually put my shirts away. I hang my t-shirts. Can you imagine if you hung all your t-shirts? You would have no more closet space, I promise you that. I'm trying to be okay with the fact that I am single and alone, and that is okay. And looking at the bright sides, like, I have way more time for my music now. I have way more time for my family and friends. And everything's gonna be fine, you know? Everything's gonna be fine. I know this video was a lot. I still feel like I have more to say, but I don't want to keep rambling. I do feel like my passion for YouTube's coming back, and I'm excited. I know that there's a quite small audience of y'all of 2,000, but that's a lot of people when you think of it in a room. Thank y'all for being here. If you did watch all the way through, thank you. This is something that my family used to do a lot. At dinner, we talk about our high and our low of the day. So comment your high and your low, your highlight of your day and something that kind of maybe bummed you out. And it just shows that everyone's day is not perfect, but you live for the small happy moments, you know? The little things. I hope you'll have a great night. More YouTube videos to come. I'll update y'all on music and stuff, of course. Because my uploads are so sporadic, please press that notification bell so that you'll be notified and you'll be like, oh, I follow that girl. I forgot about her. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm much more active there. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. See you in the next one.